Should be. So yeah, I hope everybody had a great weekend because we do have a big week ahead of us. So I just want to make sure that everyone is prepared for this upcoming week. And you guys can hear me okay?
Yep, we can.
Okay, good, good, good. Let me just make sure I have. Yeah, okay, good. I can. All right, now I can hear myself. All right, let's go ahead and get rocking. All right. By watching or reading this, you're saying you understand the following. I am not a financial advisor. This is not trading advice. This information is solely for educational purposes. There are significant financial risks associated with options trading, and I'm not liable for your wins or losses in the market if you decide to act on this information. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, all right, we're just hopping right into things. So this is our call options flow, and our top call options flow and top put options flow from last week and Friday. So a lot of the flow went into NVIDIA, Apple, Meta, AMD, and Lilly on Friday. And to the put side, we had Amazon, YMM, HD, ABGO, and Nike. For the week, we had the top call flow going into Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple, AMD, and REGN. On the put side, excuse me, Microsoft, ABGO, Coin, Meta, and Netflix. Sector performance for last week was it's almost like a flip from the week before on this one. You can see that last week we had a lot of flow. Sorry, a lot of flow was going into bullish flow was going into real estate, energy, and financials. On the put side, we had consumer discretionary, utilities, and comms. This week we finished with comms, consumer staples, and consumer discretionary running. So it was like a total flip. And then we had industrials, financials, and energy to the downside. So they were selling those last week. Okay, cool. So let's just go over this week's just some of the top members that we're just going to highlight a few things that happened this week. But yeah, we had a meta trade that we grabbed last Friday heading into the close. Meta stopped at a key level or was getting close to a key level. So we grabbed calls. And I also recorded some stuff just last week just to kind of let everybody know what it was planning to do and what would happen if we lost 500. So we lost 500, ended up going down to 493. I know a lot of people were trading on Robinhood last week and could not make any moves for like the first 30 minutes of market. So some people couldn't take advantage of that. When Meta lost 500 and traded down to 493, it bounced right there. But at that moment, I posted something in the chat for the team to let them know, look, this is a key level right here. This is where it's bouncing at. And then we zoomed out a little further, looked at the weekly, and you can see that same level there. And so I know a lot of people jumped into plays there or averaged down on existing plays. But the point is, so Meta ended up made a lot of moves last week. But just a shout out to everyone on the team who actually stayed into them trades. But I wanted to give a personal, just a shout out to Crystal because I know she mentioned this in the chat too, but she stayed in that trade and she averaged down at the right times. She made 3,900, almost $4,000 off that Meta trade. So on that, really great. And then one thing that she said that it's like KK and I, we did a after the Tesla play on Tuesday. I said, look, we were talking and I said, let's just go live on Instagram. We ended up going live on Instagram just to give an idea of where Tesla was going. And that Tesla looked like it wanted to go to 240 and then possibly 250. So that's what we talked about on the IG live. But then we also hit Meta because Meta was down at the time, and I just wanted to kind of hit that and let everybody know what I thought and where I felt like Meta was going. And 225 was in play, and I'm sorry, 525 was in play on there, but we were looking for a nice move. We got the exact move that we were looking for. Now the thing was, um, I was telling a few people that that if Meta got over 215, that it was going to 225, and then and then so on. So we kind of played that. We played it accordingly, and it played out to perfection. And so shout out to everyone who was in that trade. But I see just a few contracts that I just had to post because they stood out to me. Daquan with the 1,700, what, like $1,800 profit on there. On the Tesla play, $1,400. I know it was a few people, and then KK, she traded Tesla multiple times. Now I was going to talk anyway about, because I mean, KK, just wanted to give you a shout out, a different shout out, because a spotlight too, because that this, we've been through a whole lot, and as far as trading go, and just the way week over week and month over month, just the level of improvement that you have, and just sticking to it, not running away from the just the what is the process, just sticking to it, and make, because it's a lot of moves I'm watching that KK made. And like I can't post all of her contracts because it would take up the whole board, but she just been hitting trade after trade, and then just lock it in on Microsoft, and just been killing that. And it's just about the process for me though, because of the fact that it's just that I don't know. It's hard to stick to this process. That's what I'm telling everybody. It's not as easy as it looks. What happens is you can get a win in this options market, and you get one or two wins, and then you become euphoric. That euphoria kicks in and it takes over, and it'll cause you to either feel like you're invincible and you blow that account, or you just or you take a loss, and it does something to you. Losses do something to you, but not if you go into that play knowing okay, this is what I'm risking, and this is what I can risk. And KK does it time in and time again. And just no matter, she doesn't shy away from the things that I've taught her. Now I can go to her and ask her honest opinion about different stocks now, because so what a lot of people want is the like the what I do with KK and a few other members in the group. They want that, but in order to get that, you have to face the music. Like, for example, if something goes wrong in a trade, you can't just, I mean, that's the time to speak up and ask what's going on. Like for example, with the meta trade, I feel like based on all of the information from, I posted an Instagram reel on Sunday, with the 3 trade ideas on there and the levels. We went over it in a study group. I've been posting everything in the chat. And if there are questions or something like that, or if something falls apart, or you don't like the way something looked, that's the time to ask a question. Don't fall apart, because like if we snipers, if we're going on a mission and you get afraid now, you don't just disappear, and leave us on the mission, or just pull out. You got to kind of stick to the process, but you got to speak up and ask questions. So in order to really be, a solid trader, you got to be willing to speak up. You got to be willing to put your neck out there. I do it every day. So, like people come in here and just say, well, look, he can do it, or it looks easy, so I'm gonna do it. But no, it's more that comes to that. I'm putting my neck out there. I'm gonna say what I think that stock is gonna do before it happens. I went to a cookout this last weekend. It was the day before it was actually on the 4th of July. So, I was talking to one of my people who was in the Meta trade. And I told him, I said, look, I'm bullish on Meta. I think Meta going to 525. So we were talking about contracts. I'm like, I ended up grabbing those 515s because I think they can go $10 in the money. We were just talking about things, breaking it down. But most people, they'll wait until after it's already in play, and then already in in a move, and then they'll speak out. That's not it. Like if you're confident, you got to speak your mind. Because I'm telling you this for a reason. This comes out in your trading. It's going to really, when you're really confident, you're going to speak up. When you're really confident, you know, it's going to come out in your trading, and that's what you want to be. You don't want to lose that light you have. So if you're a trader that you had a few wins and then you got a loss or something and you lost your light, you don't want to lose that light because you took a loss, because that's what you need, that fire. You need that, you need whatever it was that you had, but you got to just be realistic about it. You can't just swipe the, sweep the losses under the rug like they didn't happen. Because check this out. Let's say you come in and you take a loss and then you hit a few wins. So now you forget about your loss. But let's say your P&L was $500, just to keep it simple. And now you were in a trade. Let's say it was $1,000, right? You were in a trade, you lost $500. And the next few trades, you win $100 for the next three trades. So now you're up $300. Well, but you still got a net loss of 200 now, right? Because you were up. But yeah, so you're still down a few $100. But the thing is, people will forget that they're down because they had a few wins. What you want to do is you kind of still want to, or what'll happen is you get a few wins, or I put the team in a few great trades, and then they'll take, let's say you only had a few $100s in your account, and now you ran that few $100s up to a few $1,000. And then they take the whole $1,000, and they put that in a trade and they blow the whole account up. You know what I'm saying? So like the reason I'm giving KK shout out is because, like I said, she's been growing that account, and I know that account is growing. You know what I'm saying? I know it's growing. So and like I said, for the whole team, if you just purchase just one single options trade for contract for every trade that I alerted this year, you would be up over $31,000, over $32,000 now. So we crushing it. And so I'm like, if you're not even up like half of that or a quarter of that, like you got to really get real with the process, and just, you can't keep running away, because like I said, the most important part about this process is that when things get hard, you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out. Like I said, if you look at the wins and losses, it's just it's insane how profitable we are as a team. But it's like when you lose sight of things, it kind of throws you off. And like I said, I talk to KK a lot, and I've been really hard on her. So but it's a good thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to her. I'm not gonna give her fake praise when she doesn't deserve it. I'm not gonna, I have a conversation with her and she talk about something, and it's not, I'm gonna tell her, because I want her to be successful, and she's not gonna take it personally, and we're gonna grow, that's important. And I want everybody to win. But just think about it. Every time you take a loss or you blow that account and you don't blame yourself for it, what's going to happen is you can forget that it happened and come back again, and or just get into a trade again, and you're going to make the same mistake over and over again every time. You got to figure out what it is that causes you to keep blowing your account. And I very seldom have to cut trades. But when I have to cut trades, what I've noticed is, like, there are a lot of people who keep the trades, right? And some people approach me about it and be like, they're not going to cut the trade, and it'll work out for them sometimes. There's like some people in the chat that are like really vocal about not cutting trades when I say cut them, and it sometimes it works out for them. But on the times that it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a probabilities trader. I like to trade probabilities. That's why, I'm so successful at trading. I'm not gonna not, I normally don't say certain things, but like this week I want to do a challenge with the team. But I need to know that if I say cut a trade, that the team is going to cut the trade, because if we're going to do a $500 to $2,500 challenge, I need the team to follow my lead, because I'm gonna pretend like I only got $500 and trade with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that everybody's doing the right thing. You can't be pressing buttons behind the scenes. You have to stick to the process. You can't, if we turn the 500 into, let's say, we turn the 500 into $2,000 or something. You shouldn't take that whole $2,000 or $1,000 now, and your position size is increasing because you ran it up. No, you want to get that muscle memory up and get that confidence up with the same account size, with the position size, and grow that account. It's like when you're working at your job, no matter, unless you're doing overtime, you're getting paid the same amount every week, so you're getting paid the same amount every week. So if you trade this like a system and you stick to your position size and just stop going off the rails, it'll work out for you. Because I'll tell you this, on last Friday, a lot of people, I blessed the entire team. I put everybody in the Nike the Nike play. So everybody had like 11, 12, over $1,000 to go into the next week. And then on Monday night, I put everybody in the Tesla strangle, and the Tesla strangle, it printed, so that was another trade that was very successful. So then I said that, that set us up because we were in Meta. Now, this is what I'm saying now. So what happened, a lot of people, either they weren't in Tesla because they probably went too hard on Meta. And a lot of members don't have margin accounts. They have those cash accounts because they are pattern day traders, and don't have over 25K in their account to be able to day trade it, more than 3 of them within a 5 trading day, 5 trading days week, right? So they aren't. So let's say you went too hard on Meta, and now I called Tesla out at the end of the day, but you don't have any day trades. So now you can't get into the Tesla play. Tesla ran like a bat out of hell, and so. And the next day, but the thing, it ran like a bat out of hell that Tuesday. And so I'm going somewhere with this. It's important. So, but then maybe some people sold Meta later, but they probably didn't have the funds right away because they had to wait for those funds to clear now, because you don't have a margin account, you have a cash account, and there's no available cash in that account. So now when the next, and then that trade ended up playing out, and with other trades. But I'm just saying, like, I know this is, and I'm not saying this is what happened with everybody, but I have conversations with some of my members, and they've dealt with different things. But the whole point I'm trying to say is, no one would be blowing their account or be unable to manage these positions if they aren't over leveraging that. So I know that's the biggest problem that a lot of people are having here. And I always tell you guys that you should never trade more than 20% of your total cash to trade in any position at one time. It should not happen, because if we die, and you will die sometimes, because it's inevitable in trading that you're going to lose sometimes, you have 4 more lives left if you die, and sometimes it's just that moment to get it right, so, but if you went too hard in that position, now it's hard for you to manage this position. A little small pullback is killing you, and now you don't have the money for the next trade. But it's like, if like 95%, it's probably the level is higher than that, I'm sure. But I'm gonna say 95% of our trades are successful trades that blast through 100% profit, right? So if you're keeping the same position size, and you're not leveraging your entire account, you would be up every single month. Like I said, we just had another crazy month, clearing 5,800 on for June, and then we already, I can't even say how we're doing, how we're going to finish out July, because the first week of July we cleared 20, what was it, 2,900 and what was it, 2595. So and it actually could have gone higher, but what I've been doing, because I want to make sure my team taking profit on the Meta trade, I had the team, on the Tesla trade, I had the team take that profit when it got up to, I think it was like over 1,100. That contract over, I think 11 something. That contract ended up going all the way up to like $3,000. I didn't count those profits because I told them to take profit. Now what I did was grab the higher strike. And and I see a few of my snipers did the same thing in the group. They grabbed the higher strike after that, and Tesla kept running. Same thing with Meta. I had the team get out of that trade after a certain amount too, and that continued to go higher too. But at the same time, it's like I have to make sure that the team is taking profit, and because you have to secure these profits. You cannot just let the stock keep running, or just let these plays continue to run. You got to have targets. And we had targets. We stuck to those targets. Everybody made money. And so again, I'm trying to finish the second half of this year stronger than the first half. And like I said, we crushed the first half, but it's going to take some patience from everybody. It's going to take some some discipline from everyone, and it's going to take you got to have some responsibility. So responsibility is going to be really important because, like, think about it, whether your trade, whether I call out the trade or post a chart or whatever the situation is, it's your P&L, it's your account that you have to manage, it's your money, right? And if every single month we're blowing past the threshold, like I said, I always say, if the top monthly subscription is 175, 1,000% ROI on that is 1,750. We blast through that every month. We blast through that. We double it every month. It hasn't been a month this year we haven't doubled or tripled that. So, it's and I mean, yeah, so yeah, doubled or tripled it, but it's crazy. So if you aren't finishing these months off profitable, it's something that you're doing wrong, and you're not following the process. So, and again, like I said, I very seldom cut a trade, but if I say cut a trade, you got to cut it. Just see the process and keep it going. Like I said, this is my full-time job. I'll never work for another company or anyone again. This is what I'm doing, right? And I've been successful doing it for years. So this is what we're doing, and I got a plan and a process that actually works, and it's very lucrative. And I just need the team to get over themselves, like the people who aren't, and just follow the process. It's not going to be easy, but it is easy if you follow the process. You know what I'm saying? So just this week going forward, and think about it. Some people say, well, look, I don't like nobody say something like that to me. I'm a grown man. Nobody gonna tell me to do that. I'm like, okay, well, a grown adult will speak up when something goes wrong. They're not gonna let their profits break down and go to zero, or jump out of a successful trade that I gave y'all the whole process on and told you not to sell. You know what I mean? Without a question. If you're a grown adult, because you can't have it both ways. You're gonna be the adult, or and speak up, or you're not gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta, it's something in there. You gotta speak up and say something, because and yeah. What's up, Chidolo? You unmuted. Did you mean to unmute?
No, my bad.
Oh, all right, cool.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Not too much. Everything good? Cool. Yeah, but no, but like I said, but so KK, she's in the chat. She's a resource. She's always willing to answer questions or help out and stuff like that too. And but yeah, I just like, shout out to everybody though. Like I said, it was a lot of people who stuck into those trades and played those and made money this week and last week. And it's gonna be more weeks like that. But just think about it. You have to, it's all comes back to you at the end of the day. It's your money, it's your process. It's everything, and anybody can make money when the market is going up. But like I said before, yeah, no, another trader brought something to my attention. So the trader said this to me over the weekend. They said, I was asking about this, just what happened with the process, with the plan. And they said to me, and I'm saying this because it's a good analogy. They said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, until they get punched in the mouth. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I get that. But if Mayweather is your cousin, you feel me? You're gonna come talk to Mayweather. He gonna help you walk him down. So, if I put you in that play and I'm telling you this and I'm telling you that, like there was a lot of reassurance given about the meta trade. So I'm still just a little shocked that a lot of people weren't in that trade. And but I'm gonna let it go. But yeah. I mean, anybody have anything they want to say? I mean, KK, did you have any comments or anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, phenomenal week. Um, you know, you walked us through Meta. Meta was a trade, it was a volatile trade, so I can understand apprehension when you haven't built yourself up yet, because it takes time. Like I don't sit here, everybody on here who's most of the people on here who know me know that I consistently talk about my journey and talk about, taking little steps, little goals for my bigger goal, which is to be a really, really successful trader. But we have pseudo confidence in moments that we really aren't sure. and we know deep down that that's not it, but we build ourselves up like, oh, I made these good trades, and yeah, now I can do it. I know I got this. And I don't really, I hear what he's saying, but once you start doing that and remove the student side of you, you're gonna set yourself up for failure. And I've done that before myself. And you start moving different, and those different movements are going to help you to lose a lot of money. So I'm gonna always say zoom out when Antoine is posting consistent charts, like this is what it looks like, this is what's happening. Like with Meta, when it dropped on Monday and it bounced off that 493, the way that candle closed was something that should have been asked about if you weren't sure what that meant, because it basically, if you know how he explains it, the uh, um the Bears pulled it all the way down to that level, but the Bulls said absolutely not and pulled it all the way back up. That is significant. So understanding those things and understanding in that moment and saying, okay, this is confirmation that this might not be the time to cut the trade. And now we start making higher highs every day. It's not seeing these little things. It's breaking down that big puzzle. And once you start putting those pieces together, it definitely becomes an easier process for you. That's why I didn't get out of Meta. That's why I even grabbed a lower strike. And I was like, oh, nah, I'm grabbing a 515. I feel like this is going to go, because it's giving me everything it needs to give for me to with the further confirmation of Antoine telling us, like, nah, look at this chart, look at this weekly, look at the daily, and providing us that reassurance. We have to depend on that when you don't know what you're doing. And cutting a trade just because, oh, this trade is down, and you have somebody giving you the confirmation like this may not be the time to cut the trade, that's just, and I understand, like I said, I can get that, because you don't know when you fear the unknown. We always fear the unknown. And that's how I used to cut a lot of trades. And then 2 days later, it runs like a bat out of hell. So now I'm like, dog, if I would have just listened, if I wouldn't have got scared in that moment, look how much money I would have made. So now I don't make those type of mistakes. I'm like, oh, nah, I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna pay attention to these levels. And if I see the chart doing what it's supposed to do, I'm not gonna cut the trade. Same thing with Tesla. We seen Tesla run. Yeah, Tesla could have come down, but the way it closed and held the level that Antoine specifically told us, oh yeah, I'm grabbing a higher strike and I'm swinging into the next day, and we're going to see what happens. So it's listening to your teacher and then following through, because you can listen all day and and talk with him when he's talking, and I feel you, coach, and I got all of that. But it's in that moment when it's nobody but you and your phone getting ready to trade, or your computer getting ready to trade. Are you gonna make that move in that moment? And that's what Crystal did. Shout out, Queen. I love what you did with Meta. That was phenomenal. I don't even gotta talk about Daquan. Me and Daquan literally bought and sold our Teslas for the same exact price, which speaks back to our teacher. It speaks back to making sure that we securing profit, making sure that we're sticking to these targets, and just following that process, yo. That's all I gotta say. Shout out to you, though. This week was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. We're gonna try to have another great week, just one trade at a time and just keep it moving. And I want just more, the more people are, just look at it like this also. The more people who are successful in this group, that's better for me. So it's like I said, there's no competition, there's no challenge or anything like that. I'm sharing everything that I know with y'all. You know what I mean? So it's no challenge, there's no competition. I want to see everybody win. I'm already winning, and I just I want that to continue with everybody. We need more. If we have more people in here sharing their ideas and really, like I said, if you want to get to a certain thing, you move on and you do it, you put those pieces together. But like I said, just be careful jumping in too many trades on your own. Just like you got to choose the trade that you want to be in, that you want to focus on and lock in on that trade. Like that's why I slowed down the amount of trade ideas that I post as far as chart alerts, because I'll post like 12 charts, and then there'll be people in 10 of them, and so I try to choose the top trades stocks that I'm really watching, and use them. But yeah, let's just try to make this week even better than the week before. And again, I'm one trade at a time, so let's just try to stick to it. And yeah, like if you got questions, let me know, or just post it in the chat. Somebody will say something. It's just like we just got to do more of that, and I think we'll be good. But yeah, let's move on from this one. Shout out to everybody. All right, so I think we just really hit lessons learned. But I mean, did anybody else have any lessons learned? I mean, because like I said, a lot of people weren't in Meta, a lot of people weren't in Tesla, so we got to have some lessons learned that came out of that. You know what I mean? This is the time where we need to, speak up. So, because again, like I said, I use the data that I get from this, man. I use the data that I get from these meetings to dictate or to use and how I move the following week. Like, okay, the team, they understood that assignment. They were good. They got it, and they're fine. So, let me just, I don't need to cover it. I don't have to cover that in detail. I'm like, you know what? I'm basing it off the last meeting. I'm like, well, the team didn't really have a lot of questions or feedback. So it's like, what I'll do is, unless they ask a question about Meta, I gave them all the information they need, but I was in there popping in, giving information. And I think Roman had made a comment, and then I went into details. I gave them bars about why we should still be in Meta. You know what I'm saying? So it was information posted in the chat about it. Hey, what's up, Big Mike?
Yeah, no, that was the biggest thing that got me this week, man, is I got out of the meta trade way too early, and I didn't really know how to navigate to get back in it. And like you said, it's 100% my fault for not asking questions. My biggest thing is there anywhere besides the main chat, like in the swings channel, where you can post, the target, that we're looking for when we get into the trade, or, because I was using the trading checklist, and I had a stop loss, of I think it was either 30 or 40%, that I tried to not let the trade go past. And once it hit that, I cut it. And then, of course, the next 3 days, that shit ran like crazy. And I just, I never felt comfortable enough to get back in it. And I felt like, I just missed it, the whole week, and that shit just kept running.
Yeah. KK, I saw you on mute.
Because you know what I'm going to talk about. What is today? Today is study group, Mike. These are the days. The targets are talked about on here. And
Yeah.
every Sunday, you should have a pen and pad, and you should be, I write down every single target. I take notes every Sunday. And then he'll post the chart, and the levels are on there. So
Yeah.
those are the things, like, don't get too caught up in, I need to look for it in a channel. If you come into the Sunday study group, you're gonna get those levels, and you'll be fine.
All right, well,
Okay.
now
I would
let
be
me
definitely taking notes and looking at them
hold on.
charts that he
Hold
posted.
on, because like you said, the study group, that's cool too, right? But if you can't come to the study group, the replay will be available in the replays channel. But this, I'm gonna tell you, Mike, this is the thing. Like I tell everybody who's on here, even the people, like I said, there's people on here who aren't in our community, but like there's a free side to our community, that so this apply to everybody, because you can access this too. There's a how-to guide. I took my time with the how-to guide. Not only is it text in there with links with them that describe each channel and what they're for, and it don't have, it's not overwhelming. You can probably get through it in like 3 minutes. And it got what channels you should start with and why you should start there. But then I recorded a video where I actually walked through everything in there, 20 minutes of me
Hmm.
taking my time to walk through there. And basically what it talks about in there, it goes. So what I did on Sunday after the study group, I recorded an Instagram reel, and I talked about that meta trade, and I talked about the levels on there. So I gave the target. So I'm gonna put you. I'm just putting this out there, because I go get this a lot. So when you say like well, could you tell us a place where the targets are? Like I literally said, if Meta take out this level, it's going to this level, and it's going to this level and this level. I had them all listed there, and
Mm.
I said them all. I said them in the Instagram reel that also popped up in the replays channel in the Discord. I said them on the study group. The study group is posted in the replays channel on the in the Discord. So that's what I'm saying. So y'all, a lot of people do this. They won't go through that how-to guide. They won't turn the notifications on. And like I said, I gave instructions on how to navigate the Discord and just you block out different things that you don't need to hear. Now I'm gonna tell y'all also, it's not enough people in this chat typing for us to for my post to get lost. You know what I'm saying? But you can also do a search by post. I mean by user. It's like Discord has a very powerful search feature that
Yeah.
allows you to search and stuff like that. So and I'm gonna tell you, see, look, so I'm trying to explain, but I can hear the response coming, but this is the problem. This is what happens. Like I'll be trying to get y'all information and y'all be waiting to speak instead of processing this information because look right here. You'll see you click on this watch list replay channel right here. You click on this channel right here. And here's our last study group right here. And here's the reel that I was telling you about from last week. I could play this reel. It's going to tell you all and the good thing about this reel, every trade I mentioned in this reel was only 3. They all played out to perfection from Tesla to Nvidia and Meta. And I gave every level to the upside and the downside on it. And it posted right here. But the study group that got posted twice, you know what I mean? It had the information on there. So when you say, and then on Monday, I reposted the chart in the chat after the market came down. So that's why I'm just like, what more could I be doing? And I'm just asking, I really need to know, like that would help get this information. I mean, like I'm just wondering. So
Nope, not your fault. No, I didn't. Once again, that's my fault. I didn't. I saw the reel, but that was like 3 days later when I saw it and it popped on my feed. I didn't ever see it in the channel, so that's my bad. Like I said, I hopped out of it, I think, early Monday, so 100% my fault, G. So
and
I
so
just
another
gotta
thing.
open my eyes and pay attention.
But yeah, but no, like I said, I tell everybody in here, like whether no matter how long you've been in the chat, go back and review that how-to guide. It's like because again, I'm always updating things or things getting changed around. And again, my job is to make things easier for y'all. Like so, and the easiest way for me to do things is not just always coming back and reiterating exactly what I said. But if I give you, it's like you some things come with instructions and everybody skip the instructions. You know what I mean? Like those instructions make things a lot easier. Like I use the Discord a lot. I give it, I show, I took in the how-to guide, I teach y'all how I use it. And so just taking the time to go through it, because I mean, remember, Mike, you said, oh, I read that thing 3 times. I'm like, so then you should know exactly where those things post and all that information was posted there Sunday night. So you said you got out there early Monday morning, but things got posted Sunday night. And then I followed up. I was doing a one-on-one Monday morning. When I took a quick break just to post them charts in that chat. So y'all know exactly what was going on with Meta. And
Mm.
so yeah, so you gotta yeah, just I just all I can say is how-to guide because a lot of the stuff that comes up is in the how-to guide. You gotta go through that how-to guide. Nobody's above that how-to guide, and it's going to really help you navigate things. It's going to help you. It's going to put you up on a lot of things, and it's very helpful. So that's what I suggest. As far as that, but you could have also asked in the chat. This is the thing. Like even if you can't find something or don't know something, the first thing you could do, and I'm telling you, it always bothered me because then I'm like, you know what? If you my sniper and everybody want to be like, oh yeah, I'm like Snake, I'm like KK, I'm like Jazz, I'm like this person, I'm trying to be like this person. You can't because I can trust them. If something goes wrong and they don't know what's going on, I can guarantee you, I can trust that they're gonna tap me and let me know, oh, well, what's going on? Well, Meta just did this. Should we be doing this? Look, I could not be paying attention. And I always
Mm.
tell y'all, if I'm not paying attention, we all crash and burn because when I'm talking, everybody's trying to talk because I'm giving y'all the answer, but everybody's talking when I'm talking, and so nobody's listening. But when I stop talking, nobody's talking, and we all crash and burn. But so that's why I be saying, let me know if something goes wrong because I don't want you to lose in the trade. And I'm thinking, okay, I posted enough information, these charts, this information, these levels, these verbal video levels, everything. I'm thinking is enough. And then for some people, it's not going to be enough because they're not at that level yet. But in order for me to know that, you have to speak up. Like it was one time, one of my members, he said, I don't know what the market structure is on Meta. I don't understand it. I came in, there was a clinic real quick, on a Monday and let everybody know. But if I don't know that, if no one's saying anything, so it's like I put you in that trade. That I told y'all at the end of that reel, I said this is the biggest trade. This is a big one. This was a big trade for me. And so if you didn't understand something, I think it's for you to just cut the trade without talking to me first. It's just, that's the thing that gets me all the time. Nobody says anything to me, and then they tell me why they cut the trade. It doesn't matter if you didn't talk to me first. And I'm trying to guide you through this, and I want to make sure. And if one person asks a question, it's going to be something that probably 30 more people wanted to know the answer to. So it's going to be a helpful thing. So that's why I be encouraging. So it's the reason I'm asking y'all to engage in the chat is for the help. It'll help everybody. If one person bring up a topic or something, then that's going to help other people as well, and it can help it be the difference between everybody making a lot of money or not making money at all. Like I'm just saying, like 2 back-to-back huge trades, and not to have nobody in. And I was really dictating the price. I gave y'all those levels even on Tesla the day before. I told y'all, I said when Tesla got to 222, 226, I said, this is a key level right here. If it breaks through this area right here, it's going to 240. Everything was in play. This was early, on Tuesday morning. Same thing with Meta. We just every single level, man, we talked about it. And if we didn't talk about it then, we recapped it and talked about it on the live on I think it was Tuesday night at like 11 p.m. We were on live talking about it. But yeah, it's just if questions in the chat, just the questions in the chat, even if something, I don't care if I don't care what type of question it is, even if it's something like if it's in a how-to guide, I'll let you know it's in a how-to guide. But if I can answer the question, I'm gonna still answer it, but I'm gonna let you know exactly where you can find it. If it's about one of my plays, oh yeah, more, I'm happy to oblige anytime when it's about one of my trades. I want you to ask questions. I want you to be successful. And so yeah, that's yeah, but that's what I got.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So but Big Mike, is something like what's up with the how-to guide? I mean, is it something that you just like is it confusing? I mean, like what why didn't you think to go there? Or is the notifications not on for that channel? I mean for the webinars replays? I mean,
Nope. Nah, I got the swing channel, the main channel, and it was another channel I got. I think it was a charge channel, but I don't have the other one right there, so I need to add that one. And then I didn't know about really going back and being able to check the chat, and so I guess I need to make it 4 times, go back and watch it again.
yeah, so like this time, just like yeah, because I'm like, if you watch that 4 times, then yeah. But I'm gonna let you. I ain't gonna beat you up too bad about that. Just because you already got beat up for missing Meta, and
No,
yeah.
I appreciate it, but no, I'll go back and watch it again. And like I said, I definitely got my notes out, and
But this
I'm
is what I'm gonna say.
listening and learning, man.
But I'm gonna say this also, right? Like, think about it like this too. The webinar replays channel, stuff only get posted in there probably like once or twice a week, probably once a week. So having the notifications on that channel, on that channel, I can't see how that would be hurtful or harmful in any way. You know what I mean? That's a channel I would want to have the notifications on for. You know what I'm saying? So I would go through a few of those channels and see if it's beneficial to even have the notifications on for that channel or not. I tell everybody just make sure you have the notifications on for the main channel, the novice lounge, the obviously the where the call outs get placed, but or the announcements channel, like stuff like that. Like I did any channel that would have information in it that you would need. But even with the main channel, like there aren't many people posting in there. So if I come in there, um you can just do it. Like I said, just watch the video. I will watch that video again because it'll give you information on how to search through it. And I know we're taking a lot of time on this, but I'm gonna tell y'all, this is like if we're going on a mission, this is loading the magazine right here. You have to know how to load the magazine. So, we can shoot the general. You can't shoot the general if you don't know how to load the magazine, right? If you're out of ammo. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Clement, who was next?
Yeah, I know the main problem that I had was my stop loss reached a certain percentage. I panicked. I know I'm not used to doing this live, so when you're not used to doing something live, it's like the stuff that you tell us kind of goes out the window. I should have. I know now that I need to become more of a student of the game and learn more. Look at the webinar, pay attention to the charts, listen more into the chat, and I feel like that'll help me a lot more, become more successful. I'm starting to book the coaching class, but I just need to become more successful. Just become a student, like KK said. Start taking notes, look at the charts, and just do that, and just not. And then when stuff like that happens, I won't panic or when my stop loss is at a certain percentage. So that was my main problem why I didn't hit on that Tesla trade.
Okay, hold on. So hold up. You were in the Tesla trade, but you
Yeah,
got.
and then I got out early.
So hold on. So you had a hold up. So when you got in it, you swung it on Monday night. You got into the trade.
Yeah, I got in, and it didn't reach a certain percentage for me, and then
Hold
I
on.
panicked.
Okay. All right. The reason I'm asking this question, like y'all gotta hear me out. I gotta switch over to the Tesla chart for a second because I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to feel where he's coming from. So this is it's good stuff. It's good stuff because you never know what we don't know until we talk about it, right?
Yeah,
So let's talk about it. All right, so I'm gonna bring this chart down here because I want to know what happened with Tesla.
because that was a strangle, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
for the Tesla delivery data. Yep. And that trade ran like a bat out of hell. So yeah, let's go to it because all right, so this was Monday. So now
That's the
hold
that's the
on.
one I didn't listen to you. I only got one side of it instead of not strangling it. That's where I messed up at. I didn't strangle it. I didn't strangle it.
So where did you get?
I got the Tesla puts instead of the Tesla
Oh,
call
yeah.
inputs.
So whenever I call a strangle, it's impaired. Like the reason I'm calling, so I'm gonna give y'all this gem real quick. It's not really a gem, but we can talk about it. But I don't call strangles often. I do call strangles when it's good because only time I'm gonna call a strangle is when I'm expecting a huge move, but we don't know which direction it's gonna move, but we're expecting a big move and we're expecting volatility in one direction or the other, right? But we don't know where. And it's like most of the time it's based off of some data. Now, if those they already have re-rated. See, and the thing was, I put a lot of data in the chat before that night, before the delivery numbers came out. I mean,
You
before
did.
the morning before, and I like to give both sides, and I gave both sides of the situation. And I was telling y'all, I said they already re-rated this down so badly. They rated it down so much. They're expecting it to come in under the 400K, right? Deliveries. That's what they were expecting it to come in under. I'm like, damn, that's low. And they was already down anyway. So I'm like, they can beat that. I felt like they could beat that. And I even told y'all that night before the morning. I said, I'm expecting a big move. You know, I hope it run like a bat out of hell. That's what I was expecting because of the fact that they had re-rated it down. I'm like, how much lower can it go? We just reclaimed the 200 EMA and the 200 moving average for the first time since January. We broke out of a downtrend. I'm like, that doesn't mean nothing though. We can still pull back if they're not able to hit this number, and they pulled it all the way back, then that's going to be really bad. But just the fact that they re-rated it down, so I gave both sides of what could happen, and that's why we chose what we chose. But but
That was it. That was because I was actually in both trades. I confused the two. I was in the Tesla trade, but I didn't strangle it like you said. That's me. That's go back to me not listening, just thinking I can just get on that side, but and plus, not having enough capital to do that. But I should have listened.
all right, okay. I'm good. So you're saying a lot of stuff that I'm liking to hear. I'm glad you're saying all of this because I need people to understand it. So even with this challenge we're gonna do, some trades aren't gonna be for you. Like I'm gonna tell you, look, last week we crushed the market last week. KK did not get into the Nvidia trade. She was like, she made enough money off of Tesla. She ain't even getting, she was in, she in Meta. She was like, I'm not getting in that Nvidia trade. She didn't get in it. And there was an opportunity after I called it out. It had came back down to 320 before it took off and ran all the way to 500. It came back down and she still didn't get in it because she don't have to be in everything and every trade ain't for her. So I'm gonna tell you, if I call strangles those are more advanced strategies. if I call out a strangle and you're not sure what's going on, you can definitely talk to me about it. We had a few people that actually that fumbled the bag on a strangle, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped hosting earnings trades in the chat, and that was one reason why I stopped, because most of the times they are strangles, I'm very very carefully choose the stocks that I choose to play, and even on a strangle tip, I'm very careful in how I choose those strikes and stuff too. And it's based off of a lot of things. But the thing is, those trades don't have to be for you. Like we run it up so much that you don't have to get into every single trade. You know, you could have traded it the day after, because I was given the levels the day after too. And yeah, but we talked about that in detail on last Sunday's study group as well. And that was a good time to ask questions heading into the print. You know what I'm saying? But those questions weren't there. I would have broke it down as hard, as fast as best as I could. But remember this also. A lot of people, they'll hear us talking, multiplication and stuff like that, but they're new and they haven't learned how to add and subtract yet. So, but they'll hear enough people say 3 times 3 equals 9. They don't know how that number really came about, but they heard enough people say it, so they know what that means now. But now when it's time to problem solve, it's hard to problem solve, because you never learned the how to add and subtract first, so you don't really understand how to problem solve the whole multiplication thing or anything, because you just jumped up to this level, and then everybody think that that you're on that level. It's okay to start from the bottom, right? And just to kind of understand what's really going on, because that's going to help out if we do it that way, because then I can really get y'all to where y'all want to be. Certain conversations I have with different traders that I don't have with others yet, because they haven't gotten there yet. And the best way to show me is successfully taking 10 of my trades, you know what I mean, consecutively. Like I said, all of the one-off stuff and all of that's cool, but I want to run your account up first, I want to run your account up. My whole point of me starting this group, and the whole point of y'all being here, is to make money. I want to run your account up. That makes me feel good, running your account up. So whatever y'all got going on with yourselves, that's one thing, but I want to run your account up. What's up, Wayne?
Oh, this excellent, bro. My bad.
Hold up. Oh yeah, okay. I think it was J-Rock that had his hand up.
I put it up because I was just gonna tell Mike to put his tweet notifications on too, because that channel get a lot of good information too. But I put it in the chat for him.
Okay. All right. Okay, J-Rock, I thought you was gonna tell your story, man, because like I said, what I mean, you wasn't in Meta or Tesla, and I was very disappointed about that. So but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we gotta take a step back for real, and just and focus on what we gotta focus on, and just really just kind of just put that like go back to like really focusing on that, you know what I mean? And making sure, like, and figuring out what these levels are and why. Because like I said, Clement, he just mentioned something about the strangle. And I know you mentioned something in the chat about the strangle too. And how, you took profit on the call, and then you ended up closing out the strangle, and you never got back in before the close, and and how that all broke down and stuff like that. So yeah, these are things that I would like to know about in advance. So that would have been a nice conversation in the chat. Like I said, the moment Roman mentioned Meta, he got bar after bar after bar of me explaining those levels and why everybody should still be in that trade. So if there's any uncertainty, or anybody mention anything that alerts me that there's uncertainty and there's not clarity on something that I provided, that's what I'm here for. I want to teach. I want to reassure you. I'm never scared under pressure. That's when you see who I really am. When the tide goes in, do you know who's been swimming naked? I ain't never swimming naked over here. I'm not putting you in something I don't have confidence in. And if I don't, I'm gonna tell you to cut it. Like I said, I don't like the trade no more. We're gonna cut this trade. Let's get out of this. Let's move on. And so I just need y'all to let me know what's going on. And like I said, look, let's just say I may miss something one day. I'm not paying attention to something. And maybe a question sometimes may let me know what's going on. I was one time, something was going on with Meta. I didn't see it. Kwamir tagged me in a post, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even see this. You know what I'm saying? But That's what I'm saying. Like, so it can even help me out at times. So the times when I need the help is when we're in the trenches and something's really going wrong and stuff like that. Because like I said, you see how victorious that trade was. And anybody in the chat or anybody that I talk to offline can tell you how confident I was in that trade heading into that, up until that trade, it played out. And so yeah, I just want to make sure that we're doing that, it's everybody it's not about being the best. It's not about being the person who knows this or knows that. It's just about executing these trades. And if you don't know something, you gotta say something, because this week is going to be crazy. We got Powell testifying Tuesday and Wednesday. We got CPI on Thursday. We got PPI on Friday. It's a lot going on this week, and nobody's going to be able to just nobody's like, if I cover all of this data and we go through these charts we about to go through, and I give you all these levels, and then the replay get posted, and then a few reels going to come out of it, and I'm gonna assume that y'all got all of the answers, and so if you don't ask questions, nobody's going to know. You're going to get left behind. And it's just not cool. We need everybody on board. And I don't need you just stand in the trade because you feel like if I don't stay in this trade, this is gonna happen, or my stop loss was here. Like, we got to start looking at these levels, and we got to start really being realistic. Sometimes a 30% stop loss is not it for a certain trade. Like, especially if I'm telling you, like, if I go to the meta chart, for example, and we're gonna cover that really quickly. If I go to the meta chart and I'm telling y'all exactly where these levels at and what's going on, oh man. Wow, man, that's a crazy, crazy, crazy trade. Now look at this. So we were in this consolidation. We were in this bull flag. We were talking about this last week. Meta was bull flagging. We were in here for a while. It broke out and it took off. It ran. It took off. But look, this was one of the most important things. Like, we came back when we closed here. I'm like, we're very close to this 502. I like that we came back here. Meta bounce off here, then we got action. I'm like, but 500 is a psychological level. So we had to give that some margin too. I'm like, if it lose 500, 493.75 is in play. Not Meta lost this, came back. We got a bullish engulfing with a 222 reversal, and it was a mother candle. This is what I was talking to Roman about. We closed back over this resistance. Previous resistance became support, right? And then even the next day when Meta pulled back right here, I traded this. You know what I mean? And but the whole point was, and we talked about this too, the higher highs and how everything was playing out. But the thing is, I don't see how anybody got bearish out of this. I don't see how anyone got bearish out of it. Now, in the eye of the storm right here, but remember, when this happened on Monday, I posted this chart and the weekly chart. I'm gonna go to this weekly really quickly. Hold up. I'm just gonna keep it here. I posted this chart and I posted the weekly chart in the chat, because on the weekly, that's a great looking chart too, though. Because at the time when I posted the Meta weekly chart, Meta was right down here. It was right here. It was at the bottom of this range when I posted the chart. I wanted y'all to see this chart. And then when it got back to the top, like within an hour or so, I reposted the weekly chart again to let y'all know how it had bounced. I had posted this box around it right here. So I posted it in real time when that was happening, letting y'all know what's going on. Like I said, this stuff ain't easy. It ain't gonna be easy, but it's gonna be even harder if you don't ask questions, because again, I just want to make sure y'all know exactly what's going on. And but yeah, this was one of those types of trades where I just expected everybody to be in it, and it was just too many people not in it. So think about it. It's too many people in here saying, well, I did this and I did that. I'm like, look at me like a teacher, like seriously, because if you paid to go to a university or something like that, and a professor's teaching you how to do something, and you're paying all of this money to go to this school or whatever, and you're flunking every class, you're flunking the classes, and then they're telling you, well, okay, well, just trust me and do this and do this. And you're flunking the class left and right, and you keep on every single time just telling this professor, like, well, I'm doing this and this is why I did what I'm doing, but you got to get over yourself. It's not working. But every single month we blast through our targets every single month. Like I said, we had 3 months this year already that we cleared over 5 bands, you know what I mean, per single option. And for every single month, we cleared over 4,600 for every single month per single option. You know what I'm saying? So if we got all of this going on, and this is what's happening, that I know something that's going on. You know what I mean? So why you got to get out of your own way, and you gotta, so, and I'm saying, so when you say, well, I got out of this trade, I'm like, well, hold up, I got a little process. I'm like, well, just ask me if before you get out of the trade, talk to me about it first. But everybody's just jumping out of the trades like you don't trust me, but you're still here. You know what I'm saying? I see why, because you look back when the dust settles, and it ain't like we have like a whole bunch of turbulence here, because if you look at our P&L, for our trades for the team for the year, or just when you go through it, you see that, and you look and you just see how profitable we are. It's like damn, it ain't like we having a whole lot of losses where you can lose faith. But I'm like, even if you did have some, like, I'm going to ask questions. I want to know what's going on. I want to know why something is happening. I want to know what's going on. So if you look here, delay here. Like I said, this was June. 5,800. You know what I mean? The net profit. So that's when you subtract the losses from the wins. You know what I mean? May, 54.97. You know what I mean? There aren't a lot of losses in these. Here this was early May. Because I went on vacation. This is before we finished. This was the first half of May, and we were already up, and we was already up 20. This is crazy. Look, so from by what date was this? This was May 19th. By May 19th, we were already at 21K on the year per single option. And now it's June. It's not even a whole month later, June. A month later, we at 30, or we over 31K. I know we over 32 because the profits that we had for this week, was that like 33 or something like that. But the whole point is that's a month later, a month and probably a week later, we cleared another 10 bands, 13 bands. You get what I'm saying? This is per single option, just grabbing one single contract for each trade that I alert. And like I said, sometimes you're not going to hold the trade for the length of the time or whatever, stuff like that. That's cool. But if we up 30 over 30 bands, I mean, like, at least have 15. You know what I'm saying? At least be up. Here's April, 4,600. Here's March, 4,700. Here's February, 5,100. And then January, we had what was that? January, 4,100. So the whole point is, we've been like, what's happening that y'all not trusting this process? It ain't like we're losing. We crushing every single month. This is we crushing, except for with the exception of June. We blasted through every single month that we hit last year for this year, except for June, because that was 8,700 or whatever. And we only hit, like, I'm saying only 5,800 this month. I mean, this last June, but that was only like I said, we really blew that month out too. But I don't include those the other trades that we do off the other earnings trades and stuff like that. But I don't include those. But the whole point is, I'm saying this like if it's a proven process, it works. So when y'all saying, oh, I got out of this trade and this is what I did, I'm like, why are you getting out of the trades and not talking to your coach? And I'm putting y'all in these trades. So this isn't a mission that, if you brought something to my idea, you brought something to my attention, a situation to my attention. And that means you already thought the whole thing out. If there's something I don't understand about this situation, I'm going to ask you because you brought it to my attention. You brought the trade to me. I'm not just going to keep cutting the trade. Well, I did this or I did that. And then you standing on it. And then it's like, and it'll come back and it's like, so I just want to make sure that, like, at least for the second half of this year, look, forget the first half. Forget the first half is over, right? But I'm trying to blast through another 30 bands for the second half of this year. We starting off right. For the first month of July, we started off right. So look, let's just, if you follow this process, you just buy one contract. All you need to do is buy one contract. Some people doing more than that. I'm gonna tell you that's fine. But like I said, if you buying 10 contracts and you get wiped out, like you might hit big, but you get wiped out too. That's why it's harder to deal with volatility. And I go into every single trade knowing that there's a possibility that I could lose this money. Especially if you're swinging. or anything can happen in a trade. But I'm all about market structure and support and resistance. I'm gonna stick to that. And so yeah, but if you're not asking questions and you're just cutting these trades, it's yeah, I don't know. I don't really don't know what to say, but like the process is working, and let's just stick to it. So since I got this meta chart up, I'm gonna just start with meta, right? So we're gonna just, unless did anybody have anything they wanted to say or anything? Anybody have any thoughts or any comments? I want to just go over to that. Cool. I think I should hit the economic.
I want to know what Meta going to do this. What you think Meta going to do this week, Brody?
Yeah, that's where I'm going at. I'm gonna hit meta, but let me
Okay, my bad.
yeah. I'm gonna hit this. Let me get this economic data out the way since I'm already on this. Get this so I don't have to come back to this screen right here. So yeah, we got Fed speakers this week. We got Barr Tuesday at 9:15 a.m. But then at 10 a.m. we got Powell's testimony, and we got Bowman at 1:30 p.m. Now, that Powell testifies for over an hour on Fed Hill. They got the House on Tuesday, and they got the Senate on Wednesday. Now, y'all already know how I feel about when Elizabeth Warren talked to Powell, and when Senator Warren get up there every single time, like it's like clockwork. She get up there and she rattles Powell. And sometimes she doesn't, but when she starts to talk, the market moves too. So I always bring her up when we talk about this. People think it'd be a joke, but when she starts to talk about the economy and what's going on, the market be responding. And like I said, if Powell take his glasses off, it's over. So if she get him flustered and the man take his glasses off, it's over. So it sounds funny, but it's really true. If you watch like over the last few years, when he testifies, he does it twice a year. And so we have that Tuesday and Wednesday, but Wednesday is the Senate, so that's when we'll have to worry about that. But now I ain't saying that the House gonna be easy, but then we got Goldsby on Wednesday at 2:30. We got Bostic Thursday at 11:30 a.m. We gotta watch Bostic now, and I don't know this new member. Maybe this is the member that probably took Mester's spot, because Mester, she just retired in June. So we're gonna have to figure out who this person is, where they came from, what state they represent, and what their stance is. So I'm actually gonna make a note of that right now. So this is the type of stuff that I do in my spare time. So I need to figure out who this person is, and their Fed president of somewhere, possibly. Let me see. But yeah, but then on economic wise, we got CPI Thursday, we got jobless claims, and we got PPI Friday and consumer sentiment. And like I always say, it's important to understand or just know what's going on and pay attention to it, because you could be in a trade and then all of a sudden you get an avalanche that takes place, or like the other week there was a time where we just got a flash crash. The market just came down. It was nothing, but that was just sometimes that happens. That happens in the market, and it was a meltdown. It was a meltdown, but a lot of times when that stuff happened, it's because a Fed speaker was speaking, and so that's why we like to be up on what's going on and the economic data, so we already know what's going on, and that also plays a part in the market sentiment for that day or possibly the week. But yeah, let's hop into these trades, these charts right here. So I'm gonna start with Meta. Okay, so we got Meta right here. Now, Meta, like I said, Meta broke out of this bullish flag last week, and it took out the all-time highs. And the new all-time high is 540.87. Now for Meta, now this is the thing. We're gonna wait to see what happens here, because again, you know how I feel about all-time highs. Now, what Meta could likely do, Meta looked like it wanted to have a continuation. Now, if Meta does get over 540.87, then I'm looking for a move to 550. That's what I'm looking for. Now, if Meta pulls back, I'm looking for possibly a retest of probably come back down like to the 531 to like retest that particular area. Now, it's a big possibility it could come back even further, but let's just we got to see exactly what happens. Let me zoom out for a second. This is a weekly chart that we're looking at right now. This is the daily chart, just to give you a little bit more, because that's a really big move that we just got there. And so unless Meta stabilizes over 540.87, then yeah, this is probably going to pull back nicely. And now I was actually kind of anticipating some sort of a pullback on the for probably for Monday. I was just looking for some sort of pullback on Monday. Now let's do some surgery on this daily candle just because it's such a crazy mother candle. Let's just look. So this is what happened. This is the whole mother candle here. But when you break it down to the hourly, so we just got to move. We just broke out and they just started making higher highs and they kept going up. So if you look at this, okay, a nice retest down here to VWAP on that would bring us back down up to 530.70. Now that kind of lines up with what I had on the weekly, that 531, right? So that would be cool, a nice retest of this if that was to happen. But we got to see exactly what happens because look now, because remember, this happened to us before when Meta broke out in the spring and took out the all-time high. So let me just show y'all something just so we could just have some levels here. And I'm just doing this in real time. So yeah, so Meta could come back down to 534. It can come back down to this 534 area first, and that could just be a level there, holds there. But if it lose that, then like I said, the 530.70. And yeah, let's just see what happens. I'm not sure if they'll let it come down too much further than that, depending on what happens with the market. If the market comes down, then that's one thing. Now, we will have volatility for the rest of the week because we got a lot of economic data and we got Powell speaking. So we will find they're going to unpack everything that this guy said. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to keep Meta on watch. We're going to keep Meta on watch. But like I said, all-time highs, I really do, you know how I feel about stocks at all-time highs, but Meta is different. So we'll keep that on watch. We move on. So I got a few. I want to get. Microsoft. Okay. Cool. We got Microsoft, man. Let me just zoom out on this one to the daily chart. So Microsoft, this is another one. Look at this. I mean, I would like for Microsoft to come back down and yeah, we're gonna see what happens here with this one. This is another situation where I think we could come back down and retest probably 460, around 460 first before a move higher. But let's just see because we got a nice breakout. But again, everything ran. Hold on one second. I got to do a little bit more on this one. Because again, we at these highs and we up there. Yeah, I like that 565, maybe down there to retest on VWAP, but I think it can go lower than that. Probably where's my 21 at? I got my 9 there. Yeah, no, I mean I think that 565 would be a cool area to pull back to. That would be a nice area for Microsoft to pull back to, stay in that range, because otherwise we got to come back down further. If it was to lose this area here, then we got to come back down a lot further than that. And that would be, yeah, but let's just see what happens here. That would be a nice move. What is that, like a $3 move down if it was to come down there? But a lot of these stocks are set up to move higher. And again, it just seems crazy, but I would like a retest here, just a nice retest before continuation. But yeah, and so let's just keep Microsoft on watch. Yeah, and again, as far as levels go, man, on this one, like I said, if we were able go back to the daily really quickly to kind of give y'all some on this, because again, all-time highs, I don't really like trading stocks at all-time highs, but we break through that 468.35, then 470 is in play, but like I said, as far as the puts go, I just will wait to see if it loses 465 before I would try to play puts on Microsoft. That's just what I'm saying. I mean, if it go back up and retest the all-time high and rejects it, you can do it. But I feel like why this is a stock like this, man, just wait for the move. Now, I got a better stock that we can be playing on right now than playing Microsoft to the upside. Let me pull that chart up. Yeah, like we caught Meta way before, before it broke out. It was like Meta was literally $20 away from the all-time high when we caught that one. That's what I like to do. I like to catch stocks when they're ready before they're in play. All right, so Nvidia, this is a good one. This is a great one. So, all right, Nvidia went up here and it rejected this area up here, but it's still holding my support and the non-EMA. So if we're able to clear 129, I'm looking for a move up to 130.73. And then from there, let's just see exactly what happened. We need to stabilize over there because then we can make a nice big move, 135 and then 140. But that's clear this first, and I'll show y'all the other levels. Now, on the put side, if we lose 125.36, then I'm looking for a move back down to 122.67. So let's keep this on watch. And again, this is a gap fill area, but I'm going to zoom out for a second and show y'all the weekly chart on Nvidia. So you see this weekly chart, really nice weekly chart with a 222 reversal. So yeah, I like the way we close here on the weekly as well. So you can clearly see, this is weird. This chart is just a little interesting though. 1 second. It clearly wants to get back up there. And but yeah, so just look at this level on the weekly really quickly. So we got a little small gap fill here, but look at this weekly chart. The fact that we closed up here on this level, I like the way we closed here. If we just bounce off, if we stabilize here on Monday, I think this probably makes a move back up just to 130.73. But that's what I was looking for anyway, based off of the information that I just gave you off the daily. I'm gonna go back there for a second. Just wanted to show y'all the weekly for some continuity on this. But yeah, look at this chart, man. Like I said, that's a nice little range on this, but you really got to just let things play out. Now, like I said, there's two ways to look at this play. I like this because we came back down to one of my key levels here. So if it just bounces here, you can actually play the calls from down here and take advantage of that big move, that whole $5 move or so back up to 130.73. You can do that, but you would obviously play that off a lower time frame. So let's see if it actually holds this area. Now, if it lose, then you deal with that. You deal with the other side, and then that's where you would cut. Now, the thing is, if you were to trade this, because people always wonder like this. Now, this is I was trying to say this with Meta, but we never got to cover it. People be wondering like where to put the stop or how to figure out where to put a stop. Now, this is a good one where you can do 30% on or something if you were trading off of this support level here, because like where I would do is I would put my stop like under 125. I would put it under 125. So that gives me some margin because I know once it loses 125, then it's done. That's not something where if they stop hunting, they're probably not going to come down to like down there to like 125, like 124.80 or something like that. They're gonna come down here to this non-EMA possibly and or down to the lower end of 125 and then take it off if that's what they're going to do. But for a stock like Meta for that last setup, the way the levels were set on that and where 500 was and stuff like that, I mean, it was if in a perfect world for the people who were trading on Robinhood, if you were able, because you couldn't sell for the first 30 minutes because the app was down, if obviously if it lost 500, you would have cut the trade because that's where we would have cut it at 500 and just traded the puts to the downside. But in a situation like this right here, this is a level here, and that's where it bounced at. I mean, that's where it closed at. We're going to give it some margin. And so like I said, under 25 is where I would put that stop loss. I will put it under there so that way you're not putting your stop loss too close and you're not getting stopped out because like I said, they'll go and hunt those stops, stop you out, and then the stock will run like a bat out of hell. So you just want to keep that in mind. But yeah, I think this is a nice setup on NVIDIA. It can play out either way, but the upside is still in play. It looks great. And it's great on a week too. So let's keep this one on watch. Let me move on. I know that was a lot for that one, but just wanted to kind of give a little bit more on that. PANW. Sheesh. What a beautiful chart. What a beautiful chart. Look at this chart. So yeah, let me just all right, so we got Palo Alto right here. Now, I really like this. You see how we got the bullish flag breakout down here, gapped up. We consolidated a little bit, and now it's on the move. Now, if we can clear the 345.55, I'm looking for a move to 351.29. That's the next level on that one. And then possibly 362.47 if we stabilize over 351.29. Now, if we lose 338, I'm looking for a move back down to 335 and then 330, possibly 330. So let's keep Palo Alto on watch. This chart looks nice, and it's on the move. Since we are hitting this sector, I'm going to keep it moving to crowd. All right, so we got crowd here, man. This crowd strike chart looks great too. So here's crowd right here. You see, you zoom out, you see crowd is still up here at these highs. Now, look, so I don't want y'all to sleep on this because a lot of time we do some sleeping on these types of charts. You see this bullish flag right here on crowd, and it's been consolidating in here for a while. So yeah, if we're able to clear, and I'm gonna zoom out and go to the weekly for a second so you can just get a more concise look of what's going on here. So you see, we finished inside on a week, but with a hammer, bounced off this level, and it's holding here. So on the weekly chart here, like over 392.74, we could possibly make a move into 394.62, but 64. But that's a small move to me. I'm not looking for that move, man. Let's take out that let's take out 395. We take out 395, then we can make a move to 400 and then possibly 410. So let's just keep crowd on watch for that. Now, this is a weekly chart again, and I wanted y'all to see this gap fill on the week also. This is from earnings. Now I'm gonna zoom back out for a second so we can talk about the downside. But it's really hard to play the downside on this stock, to be honest, right now, because of how the chart is set up. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about it anyway, because I think that'll be a nice move down if we can actually lose. So yeah, if we were able to lose 385.63, then you can make a nice move down to 380. That's the support right there, 380.44. And you know, that's what I'll be looking for it to be saved up at if we were to move. Now, again, this was the earnings gap here, and you see this is a nice chart set up on here. Now, again, heading into the election, we need security, and these types of stocks are really good right now. So let's just keep these on watch. And again, they've been moving since earnings. And then you saw Palo Alto broke out last week the week before last, and it's just been on a tear. So let's just keep both of these on watch. These are really, really good stocks to watch. Go here, and yeah, it's a few stocks I'm not gonna hit. Like most of these, a lot of them are at all-time highs, and I feel the same way about Apple. Netflix. Netflix is about to take out its all-time high, but it's literally there, the only one that hasn't taken it out yet. Let me go ahead and hit QCOM. QCOM. Let's that chart up. Really, really nice chart on QCOM here. So let's go ahead and talk about this one. All right, we got QCOM right here. And as you can see, QCOM rejected this resistance point right here that I have on my daily chart. So what I'm looking for, if we are able to clear 206, let's just call it 207. Let's clear 207. If we're able to clear 207 on QCOM, then my target would be the 211.68 price level, which is a bearish gap fill, and it's a resistance point right there. So that would be my target for that. Now, if we were to lose 203.46, my target would be 202.05. Then we got 199 and then 197. And that's likely where it would probably bounce at around there. And then we got 194. So it's a few places where it can go if we were to lose that area. But it's in a 222 continuation to the upside, but it did reject this area and finish with a doji. So we're going to keep that on watch. Let me just zoom out and look at the weekly for a second on this one. Yeah, it looks good. I like an inside week. A bullish inside week looks nice on this, but you remember inside candles are neutralizing, but it looks great here. So let's just see what happens. It looked like it wants that gap fill on the weekly because there's a gap here above the one that I was looking at. And that gap is to the what is that, 212.53. So that's just a little above the target that I gave y'all on the other chart. So yeah, let's keep calm on watch. That looks nice. And it's been it's quietly moving up. Let me move on here. IWM. So here's our IWM chart. Now we talked about this last week and the week before. So I was telling y'all that, hold on one sec. Last week I was telling y'all about this trend right here and that it was up here, but we closed down here, but it was still at the top of this range. And every single time it hit this, it came back down. And that's exactly what we did last week. But we came back and finished it as a hammer, but it's still under its 9 EMA, 50 EMA. So let's just see how this plays out. I would say this over 201.63, we can retest that. Well, this is what I say. The best way to play this is over 202, then we can make a move. Let's 202.06, over 202.06, then we can make a move back up into the 204 and then 205 area on this chart. Now that's if we can break out of here, because remember, that's why I gave it more margin, because I think just being able to take out that just being able to take out of that 201.63 would give a false positive. We need to clear that 206. I mean that 202.06. That's his 50 EMA, 50-day EMA, and it lines up with my resistance point right there also. But if we were to lose that 199.88, we can retest 199.29 and then possibly make a move back down to 197, and then possibly retest the 200 EMA. But yeah, this is a little choppy right now. This is a little choppy, but we should watch it, because, and the reason I'm bringing this up is, like I said, look at every time it hit the top of this this wedge, the top of this downtrend, it came down and we got a continuation. We got a nice continuation each time. So this is something that we should just be watching out for. And it could possibly give a nice flush down here to the bottom if that happens. So let's just keep it on watch. And yeah, that's IWM. IWM is an ETF that tracks the Russell 2000, which is the small cap stocks. Right, we got XLE. XLE is an ETF that tracks the energy sector. And this thing, I like a nice flag. So yeah, but I got some levels here. I'll put some more levels there. Actually, I'll do that first. It's here. I don't got to mark that one up right there because we already knowing what's going on right there. But hold on. Cool, we got XLE right here. And we got this flag here on the daily chart. See what price does here. And I'm showing this chart for a reason, because that could be a nice move either to the downside, or it could be bouncing off of this level here where it closed. It found a way to close back above that level. So we could get a bounce here off of 90 and make a move back up to 92.71, or we lose this area down here. If we were able to take out 89.70, we can make a move back down to 89 and then 87.25. So just keep this one on watch. yeah, and it's a lot going on with energy right now as well. Now, hold on one second. Just wanted to bring this up because instead of just hitting the individual energy stocks, CRM. Delay on my screen. All right, so CRM. You see, CRM is almost completely filled this earnings gap that we have here. So, we got a gap here and it's almost filled. So we almost in there. Finished green on Friday and it's looking like it's trying to get back up here into this area. So again, if we can, what is that? Okay, cool. Yeah, if we're able to clear 265.80, then 268 is in play, and then 274.94, and so on. Now, if we lose 261.32, then we'll make a move possibly back down to 258.18, then 256 and 254. So, let's keep CrowdStrike. I'm sorry, I said Salesforce, CrowdStrike, Salesforce. Keep this on watch. And let me just go over here to the weekly, just to zoom out on it for a second on this one. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 222 continuation after we reversed. It's almost to the top of that range. So yeah, it looked like it's headed there and it's probably going to complete that on round trip. But look, check this out, just so y'all know. So y'all notice a weekly chart. And so that's why we gotta be careful, come up here, reject this and get a nice move down possibly, or break through and it runs like a bat out of hell. So yeah, keep it on watch. I mean, that's still enough room to make that big move that we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Just look at what happened the last few times. Obviously, this was earnings here, but this wasn't. You know what I mean? That was a bearish engulfing 222 reversal, bearish engulfing candle situation. On this one, we got a 222 reversal, bullish engulfing, and you see it ran back up. So yeah, we reclaimed 9 EMA here. And again, it's a weekly chart now, and just kind of showing the confluence with the daily chart that we have here for Salesforce. So yeah, like I say, keep this one on watch. I think this is a good one, another good one. And we go here to SQ. SQ. Say, I'm always looking for a nice chart, man. And here is Square. Square is a company called, what's called Block now, and they own Cash App, and they have a lot of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And this chart looks great. We got a bullish engulfing right here. That's a 212 with a bullish engulfing. And we got a nice close. Look at this chart. Just look at this chart for a second. Let's talk about it. I really, really enjoy a nice chart. And it's a pretty, it's not a very expensive trade either, well, stock to trade either. But yeah, so what I'm looking for, if we can clear that, clear 65, 78, sorry, 79, 65, 79, then we could possibly make a move back up to 67 and then 68. So we really need to get back above 67. But if we can get over there, we can make a nice move to 67 and then 68.17. Now, if we were to find a way, now look, it could reject this area. Again, this is a level right here. If it rejects this area, then we can make a move back down to 64 to 64.35. 64.35. But if we were to lose, to lose 63.99, so let's just lose 64, we lose that area right there, then we can make a nice move back down to 63 and then possibly make a move back down here to 62.74. Let me just mark that up. But yeah, I think it wants to go higher. We got a nice bullish engulfing on there. I'm gonna check to see if there's any news associated with this move, that breakout that took place. But sometimes, with the small cap stocks, man, they be getting hit a lot. It came back down and retested this breakout area when we got this breakout here. And we got to move ever since. But now we just need to break out of this. I mean, just so y'all can see, if I zoom out a little bit, because everybody not looking at what I'm looking at. you know, we got a little range right here. And that's where the stock is. It's back up in this range here. We get out of there and then we got action. So let's just see what it can do. And let's just keep square on watch. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have for now. Like I said, look, we got a big week coming in. I'm trying to stick to the trades that we're used to trading and that we normally trading. And let's just kind of let this market play out. We got some economic data, so we are going to have the catalyst for these stocks to give us the blood pressure that we're looking for. And let's just make it a great week, man. And I will see y'all on the other side. I mean, I got additional stuff, additional information, but I'll post that in the chat. And we got some really good trades that I got set up for this week for us as a team. So I will be talking to y'all, and I got an update for y'all later on. So cheers.
Antoine.
Hey,
Thank you so much. Enjoy your
Thank
Sunday.
you.
all right, y'all too. Peace.
Antoine, are you gonna start the challenge this week, or you just still we just kind of advertising it?
Yeah, I was gonna post more information about it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Y'all take care.
Thank you.
Appreciate your guidance.